and I work in the film and television business, and I record sound. That's sort of what my job is. So when I record sound, I record a lot of what I record is people talking, voices, and effects, sound effects, which are things like, you know, hands clapping, doors slamming, cars roaring past, all that sort of stuff.
See, were you doing some sound effects for Lord of the Rings?
I was working on Lord of the Rings. I record sound at the time the film is shot, or the time the filming takes place, where they've got all the crew and the actors and the sets, and you do all the filming at that point. That's when I record the sound.
You're not told your baby's deaf. You don't know your baby's deaf for a long time. So you live with your baby for 6 months, a year, 18 months, with all those expectations of being absolutely normal. And then suddenly someone tells you, your baby can't hear anything.
When we left the hospital, we had a very gloomy picture painted for us.
She was diagnosed at the age of 14 months, and we were introduced to Hearing House very soon after diagnosis.
Because my dad had hearing aids and he was pretty much the same as us, he didn't seem any different to me. And then with Jasmine, she seemed pretty okay, and with her hearing aids she could hear pretty well. I didn't, I might not have realised the significance of Matthew's hearing loss.
When we come along, Phoebe gives us ideas of how to get more verbalisation in our day-to-day life at home that can help Matthew with both his listening and his verbalisation.
He's imitating quite clearly some of the sounds we're giving him, some of the low frequency sounds like we did with the baby with the shh, go to sleep, we got a back, which is really nice approximation of the sound. So Mum's doing some really hard work at home.
It's pretty hard really, I mean, and when I'll be out front, Gillian really does the majority of that therapy work, so it is quite hard. I can sort of probably get the good stuff.
He gets the play.
I get the play. Hey.
But that's important too.
I've got the monkey and he says, ee, 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 ee.
We start with something that we know he's going to hear, like the R, we know he's responded to that, so we give him success with that, so he's turning around and he gets the idea of the task.
Do you remember the process of learning to speak?
Yeah, well, I got my first cochlear implant when I was 2.5 years old, and I started learning to speak after then. Not sure how long it took me to learn how to speak, but straight after I had my hearing aid, I just went straight on to learning.
You folk have problems with the wind hitting the edge of your implant and the sound of that as the wind disturbs the microphone. So is that really annoying?
Yeah, it's harder to hear.
So how do you find it when you're outside on a windy day?
You just have to kind of follow instructions, like if you're outside and you have to do some sport or something, you have to kind of do what they're doing. If you can't hear them, you have to kind of do what they're doing.
I think he's saying mum now. I mean, that's huge, and you know that's huge for all parents, but for us it's great news.
Do you find particular sounds that are easy to hear or hard to hear?
Sometimes I can find some voices that are a bit low and some voices that are a bit high.
Ooh, great. E. Yay! A spoon. 1, 2.
Oh, look, water. Water. Crack, crack.
What do you say?
Thank you. I got a big stack of clothes. On Sunday, which is today, I will ask the boys what they like for dance. What would you like on your sandwich?
I'd like the pastrami stuff, please.
I'd like pastrami.
She's been attending here weekly for her therapy sessions, and she's currently at the preschool and now is towards the end of the program here and ready to start school.
My favourite word is jump. Jump.
She basically graduates when she goes to school, so this is it. Tomorrow's her last day, so that's going to be quite special. Tomorrow's her last therapy day, and she finishes preschool next week.
I'll go to ballet. I do lots of ballerinas.
I don't think he would have taken a picture of me.
I mean, it wasn't like magic or anything, but you know, his speech just, or the making the correct sounds would have been what happened first. It started happening quite quickly, I thought.
I'm amazed at how well you talk, all your diction. It's very good diction. And that's something that years and years of recording in the business, I'm very aware of how people talk with their mouths. And I'm really surprised that you all talk so well.
I've always tried to make sure that I don't make a big deal out of hiding the fact that they have hearing aids or anything like that. I try to be very open about it so that they don't feel like it's something they need to be ashamed of.
Do you have friends that are deaf, or do you have a lot of friends that aren't deaf or haven't been deaf?
Yeah, I've got a lot of friends who aren't deaf, and they are extremely helpful. Like, they understand about my life and that I'm deaf, and if I don't hear something, they would just repeat it without saying, "Oh, Josh, listen."
The Hearing House people are awesome. I know that much. They've been really supportive of Matthew and me.
I've had parents 4 years after the event say to me, "I thought you were making it up on that day just to make me feel better. I didn't believe you when you said Kashish would learn to speak. I thought you were just making it up to make me feel better."
And we have parents come back now and say, "You were right. I am saying, can you please be quiet for a minute?" to a deaf child 4 years down the line. I never thought I would ever say that.
So what other favourite movies have you kids got?
Hong Kong.
King Kong?
King Kong.
What did you think of it? Was it scary?
Yeah, a little bit, but I
So you weren't scared of the big gorilla?
No.
He didn't frighten you?
I wasn't that scared. I didn't scream.
Couldn't you hear all the noises that the
Yeah,
Kongs
I
made?
did.
All the roars?
Yeah.
You could hear all that? That's good. I've just been overseas and just come back from America. I went to LA and I went to a special thing that happens in the whole sort of film business.
And the Oscar goes to Christopher Boyes, Michael Samatic, Michael Hedges and Hammond Peak for King Kong.
To the rock that is my family and to the great production sound crew, go Kiwis. Thank you.
Yes.
And I brought something back with me to show you. Wow. You right there?
Yeah.
You finished? It's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
That village set
Not
was
heavy for me, but a little bit.
Good luck with your lives, and I think you're doing remarkably well, and I can understand all of you very clearly the way you speak. So well done.
Honey, we could do some more.